I was the back of homecoming day. Now, I did get called into the game. I got called into the game at 1:30 in the morning because she needed a ride home from his house. Hey, shout out to all of our members and subscribers here on the channel as we have reached 350,000, sending a lot of love to all of you guys. And much like Kevin Durant, we're going to keep looking for peace and happiness, regardless of how many times we have to move. But right now, we are here for street politics. Now, you guys may have remembered the last time Steve Bannon addressed Elon Musk.
He's going up on Twitter and saying he's going to drive by Zuckerberg's house and they're going to fight in the backyard. I mean, this guy's a man-child. This is a man-child. This is a deeply disturbed individual. The X thing, and I will break it down in shows to come, but that's a whole Aleister Crowley. He's been obsessed with turning these companies into the word X. He tried to do it at PayPal, has done his whole life. That's an Aleister Crowley direct occult.
That was bad, but it got worse.
He's got a glass jaw. He can't take, because of the autism or where he's on the spectrum. He's clearly not. He's got the maturity of an 11-year-old. You can tell that. But it's obvious. He can't take criticism. One of his weaknesses is that he needs to be loved. He needs the masses to love him. You can tell he's on the stage. He needs that glory.
That was bad, but it got worse.
But he's owned by the Chinese Communist Party. What are you talking about? Tesla, his only thing of real value is Tesla. He uses it for margin loans. He sells the stock. The Shanghai joint venture is 100% controlled by the CCP. This is why he never goes after the CCP. This is why he always backs off. This is when they had the protest. They had the protest about the lockdowns of COVID. He will not do it. Elon Musk is a total and complete phony. He is in bed in a business partner. He's done some good stuff, letting stuff out, with Taibbi and others is fine. But he is owned lock, stock, and barrel by the Chinese Communist Party, and he acts like it.
Now, that was bad, but it got worse.
This guy lives on government contracts and taxpayer subsidies. Okay, it's all. We're going to get Joe Allen in here for a second to transform it. Elon Musk, once again, brother, I'm smart enough to tell you no to your face, and I'm evil enough to be able to expose you as a running dog for the greatest enemy this nation's ever had. You're a war profiteer. You're sleeping with the enemy, brother, and you've been doing it because you're not an American nationalist. You're not even an American. All you are is a globalist, okay? A globalist. And you will go where anybody writes you a check, and you would take it from Adolf Hitler himself because you're taking it from people that are as bad as Adolf Hitler.
That was bad, but it got worse.
And for that, he gets a place at the table. There's no doubt. You should. It's $250 million in June, not an entire cycle, in 5 months. But that dinner with Sachs and that check from Elon came at Biden's, when Biden, in the debate or right before the debate, and Biden, they kind of saw the numbers of where this thing was heading. They're recent converts, and we love converts. Hell, I'm a Catholic. We used to be in the convert business. Not so much anymore. We can't keep what we got. But in the old days, half the saints are missionaries. We love in converts. But the converts sit in the back and study for years and years and years to make sure you understand the faith and you understand the nuances of the faith and understand how you can internalize the faith. Don't come up and go to the pulpit in your first week here and start lecturing people about the way things are going to be. If you're going to do that, we're going to rip your face off. Because you can't beat us. We're not beatable. This army of the awakened is not beatable because we're relentless and we will never surrender and we will never slow down. And yes, if you go low, we'll go to the center of the earth.
Culminating in this, quote, he should go back to South Africa. Why do we have South Africans, the most racist people on earth, white South Africans, making any comments at all on what goes on in the United States. He told this man go back to Africa. I told you, this was the biggest leopard feast I have seen in 2025. Maybe the biggest one in all the 2020s. He told this man go back to Africa. You know?
I never thought that I would eat my face. Oh, I never thought that I would eat my face. We bonded over bigotry, but they weren't supposed to turn on me. No, I never thought that I would eat my face.
But they are.
And here Elon Musk calling himself an African American was just for the giggles. Oh yeah, now, by the way, since Steve Bannon called Elon Musk and his fellow white South Africans the most racist people on earth, since then, we have seen them rehire a Doge staffer who got fired after posting that he was racist before it was cool and to normalize Indian hate.
And get this, Elon Musk is mad that the staffer had to quit. Go figure. He attacked the journalist even who wrote that story, folks. Oh, but it gets better. J.D. Vance, you know him, the Vice President of the United States, posted that he agreed with Musk. And apparently, so does Donald Trump.
One of the Doge engineers was fired for some inappropriate posts. The vice president says, bring him back. What do you say?
Well, I don't know about the particular thing, but if the vice president said that, did you say that? I'm with the vice president. Thank you, Peter.
We've seen absolutely no transparency with Doge and Congress to the point of Jasmine Crockett calling him a whole coward. We have seen a loophole opened up in America's refugee policy to allow for white South Africans. He admitted that he's going to be wrong, like the time that his website posted that they saved $8 billion on a line item that was revealed to be $8 million. He had a whole White House press briefing standing over top of Trump, like my mama told me I could never do when I was growing up. So the thing that was disrespectful to my mama, you could do to the president in the Oval Office. And that was before we get to what his son had to say towards the president. And by the way, did somebody say son? Because Elon might have a new one.
I found out about the existence of my half-brother through reddit.com/r/RuPaul's Drag Race. This is a real thing that actually happened to me.
And let's also keep in mind that Bannon called Musk and his white South Africans the most racist people on the planet in the aftermath of a whole salute that he did during inaugural weekend.
Did he just sig heil?
It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
So that's how we got here. And if there ever was a time for the Simpsons stop he's already dead meme, it would be right now for Steve Bannon and Elon Musk. But guess what? He wasn't done. Them leopards hungry again. Now we get this. Bannon calls Musk a parasitic illegal immigrant in the latest jab at tech billionaire. Now I wonder what Elon Musk would take the most offense at. Would it be parasitic? Because Steve Bannon has said that before about how much he bilks from the government while at the same time calling other people and casting them as welfare recipients and whatnot. Maybe the illegal part of it?
In fact, when they did fund us, they realized that we were illegal immigrants.
Well, I mean,
yes, we were.
I'd say it's a gray area.
Yeah, yes, we were. We were illegal immigrants.
I mean, we've seen him squirm at that before, even when his own kin accidentally let it slip. But I actually think he takes the most offense at immigrant. He does not like that. And imagine being called a parasitic illegal immigrant, and the immigrant part is the most offensive to you. Sounds like Steve Bannon might have a point. The 71-year-old Maga acolyte and former Trump advisor, speaking of Bannon, said Musk is, quote, the one with the power. Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. See, last time you called out Elon Musk, what'd I say to you? Huh? What'd I say to you? I said you can't simultaneously call out Elon Musk and just give Trump a pass for all of the things. That doesn't make any sense. Now you are saying that Elon Musk is the one with the power. Who gave him that? Who gave him that? Who ceded power to Elon Musk? We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that, Steve. No, we're not doing that, Steve. You sound as bad as the farmers for Trump blaming the government after their USAID gets taken away.
The only way that I can think to get around it is we sell some cows. And if I sell cows now to make the payment, to make that payment, I'm not going to be able to make the payment in the fall because the cows are calculated in my payment in the fall. So because I got in bed with the government.
See, and this is why we say it's a cult, because the misplaced fucking anger. It's not because you got in bed with the government. It's because you voted for someone that did not give a fuck about you. That's what it is. Love.
Steve Bannon has branded Elon Musk as a parasitic illegal immigrant who has no respect for America in his latest swipe at the billionaire tech boss. The 71-year-old Maga acolyte and former Trump advisor said Musk is the one with the power and that his work with the Department of Government Efficiency was performative. Now, that much seems pretty unobjectionable as far as I'm concerned, because if it wasn't performative, he would have took his behind over to the Pentagon first. I've likened this to cutting your monthly budget down to $2,000 where you spend $1,000 on FanDuel. It doesn't make any logical sense. But let's also keep in mind that while I am in agreement with Steve Bannon that his cuts up to this point have been performative, they have been performative at the expense of so many people who is dependent on those tiny line items in America's budget. So you're willing to do something performative at the great expense of so many Americans, like those farmers I just brought up.
If the election were today, Frank, would you vote for Donald Trump?
No way.
Couldn't happen.
No.
So I'm off the Trump train.
Not only do they not care about you, they are willing to sacrifice you just for the headlines. And you want to give them cover and blame the government. I told you pick-me behavior is never rewarded. It is never rewarded. I learned that in the 10th grade. Yeah, when I agreed to be a backup homecoming date. Yeah, I was the backup homecoming date. Now, I did get called into the game. I got called into the game at 1:30 in the morning because she needed a ride home from his house. Beef between the pair has been escalating for several months, with Bannon previously vowing to have Musk, quote, run out of Trump's inner circle by Inauguration Day. Well, that didn't happen. Now, he was talking about Inauguration Day 2028. Yeah, by Inauguration Day 2028, you know what I mean? He going, you know, because Bannon, he was going to dress in one of the movers' outfits. When they move everybody out, he going to have one of the movers' outfits. And he, you know, that was his plan. His plan has not come to fruition, and the Tesla boss is a regular visitor to the Oval Office, even holding a recent impromptu press conference there. Oh, we've seen that. Musk is a parasitic illegal immigrant. He wants to impose his freak experiments and play act as God without any respect for the country's history, values, or traditions, Bannon said, speaking to British news site Unheard. Now, a couple things. If you bring somebody into the house who starts to engage in freak experiments with no respect for your values and traditions, who gets held accountable for that? Huh? Because I've been kicked out of enough friends' houses to know that smoke ends with that friend. because they were the ones that co-signed bringing me into the home filthy with no shirt on. That is something that they have to deal with after the fact. Who brought him into the house, Steve Bannon? I need to know. Who brought Elon Musk and his brood into the house? And I'm also wondering, because it said that he was speaking to a British news site, and he was also speaking to a foreign news site when we got the Go Back to Africa. How come American news outlets never get this? Huh? It ain't like Steve Bannon hard to find. You just follow that ponytail. Just follow the ponytail. It ain't like he hard to find. Why are the foreign news outlets getting all the good Elon Musk slander? That's what y'all scared? Is that what's happening? Y'all scared? What's going on in American media? The remark appears to be in reference to previous reports that Musk overstayed his original work visa in the U.S. before achieving his enormous success. Musk has denied the accusation. Bannon and Musk previously clashed over the billionaire's support of the H-1B program, which allowed U.S. employers to issue temporary non-immigrant visas with the intent of filling skills gaps in sectors that require highly specialized knowledge. Because just because somebody knows how to code, it doesn't make them suitable to work with Elon Musk. You got to be hateful also. Like you have to have a deep resume of hate and intolerance, okay? And you can't always find that here in America, which is shocking, I know. If there's one thing you would think we would have the market cornered on, it would be that. But, some of these foreign countries, they start young. He argued that South African-born Musk, who himself previously held an H-1B visa, is only serving his own interests by backing the program, with the Tesla CEO benefiting from the hiring of skilled foreign workers for his own companies. That much seems clear. Musk is the one with the power at the moment. The Democrats are nowhere to be seen. That much also seems clear. It's pretty evident the president's using him as an armor-piercing shell that's delivering blunt force trauma against the administrative state. So let me get this straight. So Trump is using Musk as a shell while they mow over the administrative state, which is something that you have called performative and to Musk's own ends. And you have also said that he's the one with the power. Was this all one interview? Okay, were they drinking during this interview? Huh? What was in them glasses? Bannon went on to highlight the lack of effort so far done by Doge on the Pentagon, which Musk companies have multiple contracts with. And there it is. Quote, Bannon is a great talker, but not a great doer, Musk wrote on X in response to the previous comments about cuts to the DOD. What did he get done this week? Nothing. Well, apparently he put some conditioner in the back. You know what I mean? Apparently, he got some conditioner, some detangler, and get that flowing, past the ears right there. As far as you saying that he is a good talker, I don't agree with that. No, I don't agree with that, because you make heads or tails of what he just said. And huh? Oh, we actually got video?
You're one of the very few people in Maga world who speak out against Elon Musk. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but Elon's doing some great work. I'm a huge supporter of the deconstruction administrative state and what Elon's doing in Doge. I'm a big supporter of that. I hope, and my prayer is that these cuts are real. I mean, he's committed to $1 trillion. I think that's fantastic. I think what Doge is doing is kind of a shock troop to go inside and do these audits is great. I'm a big advocate of him, what we call crossing the Potomac and going to the Pentagon, because I'm not so sure you can start cutting a lot of social programs, because we need more than just the audits. The audits are great, and I think they're finding anomalies, etc. But you need to get programmatically. At some point in time, if you're going to take down the spending of the federal government, it's got to be programmatic. We can't do the social programs or Medicaid, I don't believe, until we've taken an eye on defense.
You see that look on that interviewer's face? He like, this man is adorable. He think he going over to the Pentagon. Oh, that is cute. It's cute, right?
You're going to take down the spending of the federal government. It's got to be programmatic.
Just look at the delusion. Oh, the delusion is adorable. Either that or he smelled something on his breath. It might have been that one, too. He might have smelled something on his breath.
And that's why I've been a big advocate of him going to the Pentagon. And I think with President Trump reordering, the hemispheric defense, it ought to be a complete reordering of the Pentagon budget. And I worked in the Pentagon for almost 3.5 years as a young officer after I came off of sea duty. So I kind of understand the building because I worked for the chief of naval operations at the time. So I wish him a lot of luck, but I am not a transhumanist. I'm very anti-oligarch.
Oh, we know. We definitely know. If there's one thing we know about MAGA, you are not we say transhumanist. Transhumanist? Let me go ahead and check that out real quick. A transhumanist is someone who believes in using technology to improve human capabilities and overcome limitations. Transhumanism is a philosophical and scientific movement that seeks to redefine what it means to be human. Transhumanism is the position that human beings should be permitted to use technology to modify and enhance human cognition and bodily function, expanding abilities and capacities beyond current biological constraints. Damn. Yes, tell me more about the bodily functions aspect of the platform.
There's certain things about the oligarchs, not just Elon, but also the oligarchs that are, the Bezos and Zuckerberg particularly. All these guys don't support us.
Well, who do they support? Because they definitely don't support us.
It's one thing to say we want to be kind of like welcoming and make a good environment for everyone. And I think it's another to basically say that masculinity is bad. And I just think we kind of swung culturally to that part of the kind of the spectrum where, it's all like, okay, masculinity is toxic. We have to like get rid of it completely. It's like
His comments come as tech giants appear to be trying to make inroads with the incoming president, a vocal critic of DEI policies. And following similar moves from companies like Ford, Walmart, and McDonald's. Still, some companies are bucking the trend. Costco's board urging shareholders to vote against a proposal to reevaluate its DEI policies that they say enhance our capacity to attract and retain employees and satisfaction among its diverse customer base.
And people have to understand, the CNN audience understand, they don't support MAGA. They all had what I call the Damascene moment. The road to Damascus occurred at about 11 o'clock p.m. on November 5th. When we won, they shifted sides.
So you don't think Zuckerberg went on Joe Rogan, said how big a Trump fan he was? You're not convinced?
No, he's a criminal. What are you talking about? He put up $500 million to steal the election in 2020. Natalie Winters just exposed. This is why the New York Times had to cover for him. She did. Our White House correspondent went through of all the groups he's funding today, which are all anti-Trump groups.
Well, I don't know where you took that ball and ran with it, Steve Bannon, but as far as believing Mark Zuckerberg about as believable as that chain and perm that he had in that video.
Masculinity is bad.
Listen, they're not totally on your side either. These guys, well, they're all about money and power. What we've allowed to happen, and really progressive Democrats and the political class cut a deal with them. And the deal was back about 10 years ago, and this is under President Obama's administration. They made a Faustian pact with these guys. They said, look, we're a hegemon geopolitically, the United States. We will allow you, in the age of the algorithm, we will allow you guys to have supreme power, right? We won't have any antitrust. We won't be any Lena Khans in your life, right? Or the new people that we have, Gail Slater, because we've got some people that are just like Lena Khan, I believe. I'm a neo-Brandeisian, what it's called, is that you have to be antitrust.
You're the first person to say that on CNN.
Well, and by the way, this is why, this is sad. When Steve Bannon and Mike Davis who the people on CNN's audience, when you mention Mike Davis' name or Steve Bannon, it's like this dark specter of bad guys. We're the ones that have Lena Khan's back the most. In fact, Kamala Harris never mentioned her name, and Joe Biden never backed her up. The reason she's important, and the reason Gail Slater and Ferguson, these people President Trump are putting in, and this is why you can tell President Trump doesn't totally trust the oligarchs. We're putting in very tough antitrust people into the Justice Department and to the alphabet agencies, and they have them on War Room or a huge platform. Brandeis believed that the concentration of personal power or corporate power combined with larger state power is a situation like the Chinese Communist Party today. And that's why they break up. And so with Elon, it is with all those oligarchs in which they are essentially techno-feudalists. They don't believe in markets and profits. What they believe in is digital platforms and rent seeking. And that concentration of power is very dangerous. Look, I'm not a conservative, right? I'm a Republican because I've registered Republican. I'm really a populist nationalist. Yeah. So, as you see here today, these are working class and middle class people, and they don't want the concentration of power. And by the way, those oligarchs and people at CNN don't understand that. Just like they've turned on you now, right? They've abandoned the progressive left. They will abandon us in the same thing. They seek power. Right now, their feeling is they can see the math and they see that we have a building coalition. Yeah. So they're with us, but only temporarily.
Now, he mentioned techno-feudalism, which is something I've become more aware of. Put a pin in that. We'll be back here. As far as him saying the oligarchs will eventually turn, they better. That's all I'm saying. They better. I'm here to instigate like Justin Jones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Elon, fight back. Fight back, Elon. Huh? Oh, no, not you. Not you, Ashley Sinclair. You should fight back, too. Hey, good people. Can you believe that we are closing fast on 2,000 members? I know, and we just celebrated 1,000 like a week ago. It turns out they really like my internal monologues. The right wing always complain about being canceled, but they don't ever go nowhere. Well, if you would like to join, there is a link to membership in the description to all of my videos. And of course, we'll have celebrations when we hit 2K and other members only lives coming up soon. So make sure you turn on your notifications and be on the lookout for those. Speaking of growth, I was blown away when I went to my second channel, Way of Waters, and saw how many of you guys have found your way over to my other channel where I am now posting content. I do want to say I greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And by the way, Way of Waters is kind of where I look for healthier ways to deal with our world than the jokes and yelling that I do over on this particular channel. That literally is the point. That literally is the point. Do you even, y'all, who edited this? And while we're on the topic of jokes and yelling, if you want to find out about all things Reese Waters, make sure you sign up for my newsletter, which you can do at my website, reesewaters.com, or you can send me an email at admin@reesewaters.com. And if I haven't said it recently, I need you to know I really appreciate you.